Hello everyone, Chef Kim here, once again, ready to show you another recipe on video, hopefully to make your life in the kitchen a little bit easier. This is a creamy soup, so we need to make a roux, and that is a thickening agent made with flour and butter. It can be made with other fats too, but we're just going to do it with butter. So melt the butter over about medium heat. When I make a soup, I make it in one pot. I don't have several pots. Then you don't lose any flavor. So after you add the onion and garlic, stir it around a little bit so it gets coated well, and then let it be for a minute until it cooks. Then we're going to add the chicken. Now this is raw chicken that I've cut up pretty small. We want to stir that in so it's totally coated with the butter. We want to let that cook for a few minutes. Once it's cooked, then we're going to lower our heat and add our flour. In other words, we're going to finish up the roux. Now, I never give an exact amount on the flour because it's important for you to know what it should look like. As you can see, it's absorbed all the butter there. Now we want the heat on very low. Let that roux cook out over very low heat for about 5 to 7 minutes, and you can stir it occasionally. Now we're ready to add the broth or the water to the cooked roux. Always add a small amount at first though. If you don't, you're going to end up with lumps. So whisk in really good, and it'll be a thick paste when you first add some, as you can see here. But that's okay. Make sure your heat's still pretty low. So continually add like a quarter cup at a time until you've added about a cup. At that point you can add the rest. But I always hold back a little bit because you're not exactly positive on how thick it's going to come out. So you have better control if you don't add it all at once. So now we're going to add the chicken base. I prefer base and water over a chicken broth. Just personal preference. They make very good bases nowadays. Just don't get bouillon. That's a whole different story. Now I'm adding the lime zest, and I've zested the lime but also chopped it too to keep it very fine. And as you can see, the soup is boiling pretty good. I'm still adding more of the water or broth to get the consistency right, but I should probably turn it down a little bit. Now I'm adding some cumin and black pepper, some fresh chopped jalapeños, chopped cilantro, as well as diced green chilies, the canned ones, unless you want to roast your own chilies, but I would go the easy way for soup anyway. And then we're adding the magic ingredient, heavy cream. That's what makes all creamy soups taste spectacular. Now we want our soup to be at a gentle simmer now. So you want to make sure it's bubbling gently. You don't want to have it at a roaring boil. And you need to, this also cooks out the roux even more. Now I just added some cooked brown rice. You can add white rice if you like to. It's a little bit easier if it's cooked already. Then it doesn't take as long as it would if you put it in raw. So I would advise you to use the cooked. Now, some fresh diced tomatoes. Now these are not canned. They're from Roma tomatoes. Look at that gorgeous color combination. It's pretty thick still. As you can tell, I needed to add some water. But these are things I want you to know what you should do. Everything is not exact science. Cooking is a skill that takes common sense. Now I just added some crushed tortilla chips. Eat tortilla chips, and at the bottom of the bag you have all these crumbs. That's perfect for this soup. Now that the soup has simmered long enough, I'm adding the sour cream. I really don't want to simmer it any longer. I really need to shut it off at this point. And when we add the cheese, it doesn't need to be cooking any longer either. Now, does that look fantastic? If you made it really thick, it would be a great dip with tortilla chips, right? Well, I hope you enjoyed the green chili, chicken, and tortilla soup recipe today. It's a good one, great on these cold, wintry days. I don't think you'll regret it if you try it, especially if you like Southwestern food. Thanks for watching, everyone. Phoebe and I say happy cooking.